When audio is in question, Atom Audio is not a stranger. It's a very respected and reputable brand associated with high quality audio gear. This is their latest audio product, the D3V desktop monitors. They are, well, smaller than anything they released so far, but compared to most other speakers on the market, these punch much above their class. Just look at them. They are really small active desktop speakers, and yet when you listen to these, you are constantly asking yourself, wait a minute, there must be a subwoofer hidden somewhere in the corner. Looking for affordable Windows or Office keys? Look no further, I got you covered. Head over to scdkey.com, pick your Windows edition, use my discount code LE25 to get a 25% on any Windows or Office products. Once you complete your order, after a few seconds you will receive your code. In Windows, go to Settings, there should be an Activate Windows prompt at the bottom. Click that, enter your code and wait for Windows to finish activation. To check the activation status, use the command prompt with the command slmgr.vbs/xpr and you should receive a notification that the machine is permanently activated. Once again, use code LE25 at scdkey.com. When you open the box, you will be greeted with a manual. It's a useful thing to read. USB-C cable with USB-C to A adapter on the other end. Speaker cable, this is a 4-pin DIN connector, and there is also a power cable and power brick here as well, which indicates that the power supply is not in the speakers themselves. Here are the speakers, main or the left speaker, which you can totally use as a right one too, since you can switch the position via a cool feature. I will explain this later. There is another passive speaker here as well, and each speaker comes with a detachable angle stand in case you want to use them on the desk, so they will be perfectly angled for that correct listening position. And in case you want to use them on a proper floor stance, there is also a 1/4-inch thread on each speaker bottom. To get the idea of their size, they are 240 mm high, and that is with the stand, 200 mm without the stand, 115 mm wide and 150 mm deep, but with a hefty weight to each speaker, about 1.8 kilos each. The cabinet is not made from wood or MDF, it's plastic, PC ABS to be precise. It's not cheap looking nor cheap feeling plastic. They did retain the beveled edges, much like the bigger Atom Audio speakers. And they also have the distinguishable ribbon tweeter. But yes, there is something that catches the eye here. Each speaker has passive radiators on both sides. These are used where there is no place for bass reflex port, or when there are problems with too much air going through the bass reflex port. Like here, that would be the problem since these play so loud. So adding passive radiators on the side allows them to be great at higher volume, and plus it will drive the bass so low that you will always wonder if there is a subwoofer hidden somewhere under the desk. For such tiny speakers, they sound like much bigger boxes. So now you know their secret. Because if we look at the specs, they have 3.5-inch main woofers covered with metal mesh on the front, something that you either are fond of or hate it, because it might give them that cheap look like some older, cheaper PC speakers from the 90s. Personal preference, to be honest, I am totally neutral in this regard. Okay, moving on. 3.5-inch main woofers with 25mm voice coil diameter, and they also have aluminum cones. Passive radiators are also 3.5-inch, both of them. Tweeters are the Atom Audio specialty. These are not the traditional tweeters, these are the D-Art tweeters, or simply said, ribbon tweeters, as they look like the folded paper, but the advantage of these is that they move air 5 times more than regular tweeters do. So the sound from these is extremely precise and not harsh at all. You have to hear these for yourself and you'll know why so many people are using Atom Audio speakers. If we compare these to the regular rounded tweeters, then this would translate to 1.9-inch in diameter. The frequency response of these small speakers is amazing, best so far I reviewed now. Low frequencies, that would be the bass, goes as low as 45 Hz, judging by the specs, but doing some tests it goes to 40 Hz and then it gets lost. Impressive nonetheless. Upper frequency range is up to 23.2 kHz, which is well above most of other speakers, as most of them stop around 20 kHz. So that is the DR tweeters to thank for. The amp inside them is PWM or Class D amplifier, 80 watts for each channel maximum amplification and 40 watts max for each tweeter as well. Crazy specs. Okay, let's look at the speakers. The main speaker has a volume knob in the front, headphone jack and LED logo in the shape of the Atom Audio logo. The volume knob can be also pressed once, that would mute the audio. Press it twice and it will switch inputs from USB to analog, which will be indicated with blue logo for USB and green logo for analog TRS connection. Press the button 3 times and it will swap left and right speakers, so you can use the main one on the right side, for example. If pressed and held for 2 seconds, it will enter the standby mode, or if no audio is received for 20 minutes, which can be extremely annoying, they will go into standby, but luckily there is a workaround and this is what I highly recommend you do first time you get them. Update the firmware. It will correct some bugs they had on the release and you can disable the auto standby feature completely, while holding the power button for 8 seconds until it flashes red 5 times. On the back of the main speaker there are a lot of goodies. First, there are 3 switches up top, each one is used to shape the sound according to your room. They are labeled position, desk and room. Technically these are low, mid and high tones. Play with each one of them until you find the best possible sound for your room, because depending on your speaker position and your own room acoustics, there is not the definitive best setting here, but what suits your needs and your room acoustics. Below the switches there is a USB-C digital input and analog balanced TRS quarter jacks for connecting it to an external DAC, such as Focusrite Scarlett for example. The built-in DAC that you can use while connected to the USB cable is plenty enough for anyone, and they are plug and play, requiring no additional drivers. While connected via USB, the digital processing is done in 16-bit depth, but when you use the TRS connection, it is 24-bit in depth. Honestly, I haven't noticed the difference between these two, since the internal DAC is 24-bit and 48 kHz sample rate regardless, but for compatibility issues with all the devices, it's limited to 16 bits while using USB. Below the audio connectors, there is a 4-pin DIN connector to connect the other speaker, which means it uses 4 wires instead of 2, so each speaker has proper crossovers integrated in each of them. So that's why there are 4 wires, 2 of them are used for the bass driver and 2 of them are used for the tweeter signal. There is also a power brick connector, and that is pretty much it. On the other speaker there is just a 4-pin DIN connector and nothing else. Actually, there is the explanation of what the volume knob does. But all this said, and no sound test, well, you're mistaken. Let's put them against the Edifier MR4, which are literally the best bang for the buck speakers still, and against Edifier MR3. Both of them are similar in size, so take a listen for yourself. It's a bit longer test with 4 audio tracks, so you can get the idea how they sound. Test is done by positioning the microphone at the ear level, where you would be positioned as a listener, with equal distance from each speaker.
treat me right. I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna bite. I've got my hands on your body. So tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty. Because there ain't nobody love you like I do. Like I do. Like I do. Like I do. Like I do.
So after hearing this, what do you think? I think that they sound very flat, which actually is the point anyway, since these are the studio monitors. But what I noticed is that Adams go way lower than all other speakers. I mean, the bass is so low and you can feel the clear punch with no detail loss whatsoever. As I already said, like there is a subwoofer under your desk. You can see how the passive radiators on the side are dancing all around when the bass kicks in. It's really insane. The highs are extremely well defined and super pleasant to listen to, no harshness and no distortion. The ribbon tweeters are something else. Compared to the Edifier speakers, the mids are so much better, they are there, full of details, but if you listen to some other speakers, some bigger speakers, you can very quickly notice that Adam Audio is missing some of those details in the mids. For example, I have Mackie CR 4.5 Gen 3 at home, so listening them and D3V side by side, the mids are not very well defined on D3Vs. I mean, they are there, but somehow I always had a feeling like I was having my ears covered with a cloth, waiting for them to open up. I don't know, maybe my room at home is different or something else is at play here. But compared to both Edifier speakers, it's exactly the opposite thing. The Adam Audio sounds at least 2 times better, but it also costs that much more. These are not cheap, $300 for a pair, and they come with 5-year warranty and are also available in black or white color. And that signature DR tweeter sound, guys, this is something you have to experience. You can listen them for a long time and have zero ear fatigue even at higher volumes. The soundstage is excellent as well. Just bear in mind that these are near field monitors meant to be listened closely, and if you follow those rules you will have no problems with them. Also, who are these speakers meant for? I would say that they are meant for anyone, especially if you are space limited but you want great sound. Don't look at any other speakers. These are better than everything else, even in the same price category, and that is what Adam Audio was aiming for, to be the best at the same price range and this smaller size category as well. And they nailed that thing 110%. Plus they included angle stands as well. I mean, come on. If you decide to get them, rest assured you will have an amazing set of speakers that are great for bedroom music producers, DJs on the go, even video editors. I myself edited a few videos on them, and for casual music listeners. Just play with the switches on the back and adjust them according to your space and needs. Don't forget to do a firmware upgrade to get rid of that annoying sleep timer, and that is it. You will see how they punch well above their size. The pros, of course, is the superb audio quality, especially bass and treble, and especially for the size. Having USB-C is excellent because it eliminates the need for an audio interface and gives you the ability to connect them to any device that actually has USB-C, for example, laptop, smartphone, or even a tablet. For the cons, I must say that compared to the bigger speakers, the lack of some details in the mids is something what I noticed, and they don't have Bluetooth. And of course, the price could be a con as they are not cheap. What I would like to do is test the Atom Audio T3Vs. They are much bigger in size and could be found for a similar price as the D3Vs, but they are completely the opposite in terms of space needed for them to be positioned properly. I hope that I would have the chance to show you them as well. In the meantime, sub to the channel, like and share the video, and I'll see you in another one.